On the first album, you have Life is Beautiful. On the second one, you have Lies of the Beautiful People. Is there an obsession with beauty here?
Beautiful creatures. I don't know. It just, I have no idea why the beautiful word always haunted my life. It seems to just kind of, I don't know. I've thought about that a few times too. I'm like, wow, our single's called Life of the Beautiful People. Life is beautiful, as in beautiful creatures. Why is everything fucking beautiful? But, it's just one of those weird things. I don't know.
See, we keep coming back to that, these weird connections and
that
stuff.
That beautiful word, it makes a lot of money, I guess.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think beautiful is just one of those words, that everybody can relate to, just worldwide, and it's like love or hate, or, it's I don't really know, to be honest. All I know is today isn't so beautiful. It's fucking rainy.
You in LA today?
Yes.
And it's rainy, huh?
It's gloomy. That's going to be the new word, gloomy.
There you go. Well, see, that'll take us back to what you were talking about before. We'll talk about the other side of things. You were talking about wanting to maybe touch a nerve and get people to think about things. What's touching a nerve for you these days?
Man, I just think the economy it's just like every day I think about, I have so many friends that are losing their jobs and losing their houses, friends with families, like kids, and it's a really hard time for everybody right now, and it just makes you kind of stop and think, like, what's going on? It's like, it's a really bizarre time right now. I mean, even the weather, the world, the whole thing is just, there's something heavy going on that I'm not really sure what it is, but, I feel really bad for, a lot of people. This economy is just, I'm really praying that everything, picks back up for everyone's sake, and, hopefully our government gets her shit together and we can get back on track where our dollar's actually worth something.
So does that mean you do, or you don't buy into this whole 2012 end of the world thing that's...
I don't buy into that at all. I really don't think the world's going to end in 2012 at all. Not even for a second. I don't believe in our lifetime we'll ever see that. But I do think that the world is at a really weird place right now. Change of consciousness, and I don't know. I just think, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I believe, but I'm not going to talk about. I just think our government's shady. Let's put it that way.
Well,
they definitely don't have our best interests.
That's definitely true. I've often thought
that's the obvious.
I think
I'll point out the obvious. But so it's like, it kind of really makes you think, like, wow, we kind of are on our own here, so all we really have is each other, and hopefully the everybody kind of wakes up and realizes, hey, we can move mountains if we do it together, so.
Absolutely. So I was saying before, everything with you seems to be sort of this irony and cyclical thing. Looking back, you were first inspired to move to LA and pursue the dream because of a Motley Crue concert. Now you've co-written an album with the band. You're in another band with me.
Yeah.
How surreal is that turn of events?
It's really surreal. I mean, I remember being in a cover band back home playing Guns N' Roses songs, and now I'm actually look over and it's not a little, 15-year-old kid, screaming his brains out. It's the real deal. So it's definitely, my life has been, just surreal. I mean, I definitely came from a very church, small town, very footloose, where I got kicked out of a little town and I had to live in a trailer just to be able to play rock music. And I'm back home now because I kind of was the only guy that broke away from there and, and kind of followed a big dream, and it happened, thank God. But now I go back home and they sell like guitar picks and everything in the little convenience stores. And it's just, if anybody would know what it was like when I was fighting, everybody in that town was, I think thought I was the devil. And it's really weird, but it's neat too, because it just, it makes me happy, because a lot of parents that are my age that I went to school with now have kids, and they're like, man, you've given these kids hope in town. Like they look up to you, that you're kind of their inspiration. You did it. You broke out of this little tiny bubble and did something with your life, and you give them hope to do the same. So to me, that's worth everything I ever had to go through, all the heartache, all the ramen noodles I had to eat to get to where I am. That's very touching to me, because it's like, wow,
And you said it on the other side of the coin from 6 a.m. You're in one of the most iconic bands of the last 30 years in Guns N' Roses, working with one of the most enigmatic personalities in the history of rock. Just, I mean, literally, I don't really sit back and think about the stuff like producing Neil Diamond and things that I've done, because I'd probably shit myself. I kind of just, I'm so focused on like 3 years from now. You know what I mean? And I do what I do, and I do it, and I move on immediately. I never really sit back and pat myself on the back, so to speak. It's just always kind of like, okay, cool, that's done. Let's focus on the next thing, which I think you kind of have to be like that in life, just to further yourself, I think always set your goals as high as you can, and just stay focused on them. That's kind of worked for me, I guess. Well, and that's sort of the nature of being a creative person. You're in Guns N' Roses on the other side of 6 a.m. You're a very creative individual, but Axl is also very creative, and he's very to himself about that. It's my understanding, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong, that Axl does all the songwriting for Guns N' Roses, and the band really isn't brought into that. How do you feel not being a creative force in the band when that's sort of who you are? Or is it somehow liberating just to go out there and play without the pressure?
No, it's definitely amazing, and it's not true. I mean, Axl definitely is open to writing with the band. Chinese, I know Robin Fink helped him write, Better, the single that was out. I know a lot of the guys had a lot of input on the album, and he's always been really open. He is just like I said, I've worked with a lot of talented people, but this guy, I'm telling you, he has songs up his sleeve that I've sat down at a piano with him, and literally my jaw hits the piano bench, because he has a lot of songs up his sleeve. This guy has, and obviously I'm in the band, and I have no reason or I have no reason to kiss his ass. I'm just kind of putting it out there as it is. The guy is just fucking incredible. I mean, the songs that he has that no one's heard, I pray to God one day people get to hear what he has up his sleeve, because he me being a fan for one, but this shit is just awesome, and I can't wait to get in and work on some of the stuff with him, and I know he's really excited to get in a room too. So I think us together, we're going to do a lot of damage together, and this band he's put together is just incredible musicians. I mean, top-notch players. I mean, so yeah, I mean, he definitely put together an amazing band, and he has like 3 albums worth of shit up his sleeve that's just going to floor people. I'm really excited about it. And I've been writing around the clock, constantly sending him songs too. So it's good. It's really good.
Well, see, so that leads to one of the last questions here. That's one of the things that everybody's griped about with Guns N' Roses. It's like the music stopped. We waited forever for Chinese Democracy. It was almost by the time it came out, people were sort of like, okay. So now when are we going to get something new? We keep hearing all this great stuff about all this great new music. when are we going to see a new album?
Well, it won't be 15 years, I promise you. The thing about Axl is, and what I do respect about him, he doesn't give a fuck about, like if a label person's trying to hurry him for a record. The one thing is, he is the real deal. He is a true artist. He will not release a record until he knows in his heart it's ready. And that's exactly how we are with 6 a.m. Like, we won't turn a record in. It doesn't matter if it takes 5 years, and it doesn't really matter to us if it doesn't sell a record, because when you're doing something from a very true place and you're being true to yourself, none of that matters, really. At the end of the day, you just want to leave a song here that you're going to be proud of long after you're gone. So if you go into it with that mind frame and not, okay, this sounds like a hit, or we got to change this to sound more like this band because they're doing really good, it's not real. So the one thing, whether you like Chinese or hate it, it's real, and it definitely is a very brilliant artistic record, and I think it's an amazing record. Will the next one take as long? No. I mean, what people don't realize is Chinese didn't take 15 years. He literally has like 4 albums worth of, he has tons and tons of songs. So, whenever he feels like, okay, this is what he wants to release next, I think, it's his call, it's his vision. So I'm just here to do whatever I can to bring that vision to life for him, or with him, So.
Cool. Well, last question then.
Yeah.
You said a moment ago you're always looking 3 years ahead. So given what you've already accomplished, what goals are you still looking to attain? Where do you see yourself 3 years from now?
Well, my goals are, I've been working on an animated movie script for about 2.5 years that I'm just getting ready to shop. And my graphic design team, Ashba Media, we designed all the characters. I wrote the entire script, and I'm going to score all the music for it. And so we're just getting ready to shop that. I've been in a couple meetings so far and just gotten amazing responses. It's very cool. It's right up kind of, it's a very twisted love story, and it's really cool. And I can't wait for that to get made and people to see that, because that's a 2.5 year secret little obsession I've been doing behind the scenes. So that's kind of my next thing, and then obviously focusing on the next Guns record, and eventually, getting out on the road with, Guns, and maybe hitting some 6 AM stuff if that comes up, and, we'll take it from there. And got a bunch of stuff in the works. Until then, I just want to really, I'm putting a lot of effort into this clothing line, Ashba Swag, and just really, we're bringing stage clothes to the fans, which I think is really cool. We just launched a stage clothes for kids, which is even cooler. So you got all these stitched up beanies, and everything's one of a kind, handmade for, for the fans out there. They can actually have a place to go and get the real deal authentic clothes from the same maker who makes all of our stage clothes. So it's cool,
How cool is that? You're going to turn us all into rock stars.
Yeah, everybody can be a rock star.
Awesome. DJ Ashba, 6 AM, Guns N' Roses, thanks so much for taking the time. And what's the website address so everybody can check out all the stuff you've got going on?
DJAshba.com is my website. You can go to my online store, which is ashbaswag.com, or you can visit me on Facebook at facebook.com/Ashbaland.
Awesome. DJ, thanks so much for taking the time, man. We look forward to seeing you out there on the road, and we'll talk with you soon.
You got it, man. Thanks a lot.